I want to bring in Jeffrey Goldberg, who's breaking this story in the Atlantic magazine to talk about why this is so significant. Jeffrey, your article is titled "Monarch in the Middle" about Jordan's King Abdullah. He warned you of a Muslim Brotherhood crescent rising over the Middle East. Explain what he meant by that and the reaction in the region to this new magazine article.
Well, you know, he's a lonely guy these days. He's part of a dwindling group of Arab leaders. He was allies with the president of Tunisia, the president of Egypt, Mubarak. These guys are gone. What's replacing them are more Muslim Brotherhood, more religious fundamentalist regimes. He is a secular-oriented modernizer, and he looks at President Morsi in Egypt, and he sees a threat to his vision of a pro-Western, religiously plural kind of Middle East. He looks at the Prime Minister of Turkey and sees essentially a wolf in sheep's clothing, as he would say, someone who's trying to impose Islamist ideas, but slowly and sort of surreptitiously. So what he's saying is to Americans, you guys should pay attention because these guys are taking over, and they are as much of a threat to modernity and to the West and to progressive Arabs as Iran is.
That's stunning. Abdullah also told you, Jeff, that he thinks it might already be too late for a two-state solution between the Israelis and Palestinians. Why?
Yeah. Well, you know, his argument is he's one of the leading advocates for a two-state solution. That's obviously a big part of the agenda for President Obama and Prime Minister Netanyahu, as well as with President Obama and the Palestinian leadership. The king, who wants this very much, it's in his own best interest, believes that Israeli settlements have moved so far into the West Bank, which would be, of course, the base of a Palestinian state, that so many settlers have moved so deep into that territory that it's going to be impossible soon to separate these two sides. And what he says is if you don't have the ability to disentangle the Israelis from the Palestinians, what you're going to be left with is a single unitary state with two groups of people who absolutely hate each other. He thinks that's a formula for endless violence and sorrow, and so he's pushing very hard the moderate Palestinians to come back to the table, and he's pushing even harder to get the Israelis to focus on this, what he sees as an existential problem for not only the Israelis, but for the Palestinians and the Jordanians as well.
All right, Jeffrey Goldberg in Jerusalem, Israel, with a remarkable story in the Atlantic. Thanks for joining us.